Welcome to YML Gaming. I am YML. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys what you need to have if you want to play as Chroma when you're hunting these Eidolon Teralysts in PoE and Warframe. Now, this is probably the most important role when hunting these Teralysts, man, and I'm going to get you guys squared away. So without further ado, let's get to it. Now, when you're building Chroma, you really want to focus on two things that are primarily most important. We will jump into that to a second. I use my Opticore as my primary damage weapon. I use my Cold Star for self-damage so I can activate my Vex Armor, and I always run with my YML Slasher, my personal Zor that I made. So let's check out the ability that you're going to be primarily using during these Eidolon fights. It's actually Vex Armor. It's your third ability, and what it does is when your shields take damage, you generate armor, and when your health takes damage, your weapon damage increases. So you really want to get these stats in the green. As you see, my duration is at 55 seconds. I keep all those stats in the green. Now check out this build. What you really want to focus on is duration and strength. Don't focus too much on efficiency or range. Range is useless because you're only going to be using Vex Armor and it only affects you, so range is not going to be a problem. Efficiency isn't going to be an issue because you're only going to be casting this ability in every now and then just to damage the Teralyst. You really want to focus on high duration so you can make sure you keep this as long as possible in case you need multiple shots and things like that. Strength is of the utmost importance because the more strength you have, the more damage you can put out. Now, for your duration mods and your strength mods, you want to go with prime continuity, narrow-minded for your duration. For your strength, you want to go with blind rage and intensify. You can substitute this out for transient fortitude, but you will take a hit on your duration if you choose to use that mod. I go with power drift, the extra 15% damage, just to push it up to like 235. 235 is a really good range to have for your strength. You can damage this thing really well with that amount of strength on your build. Now with the Opticore, this is going to take some work. I'm going to tell you honestly, I put 6 formers on my Opticore, all max mods. You really want to focus on a weapon that has very high crit chance and very high crit multiplier. So I'm going with 50% crit chance and 5.5 multiplier with my Opticore. Now using split chamber, that will give me the chance of getting multi-shots. So every shot is going to be multiple hits and definitely going to be critting. And it's going to be critting in the high numbers with my Vex Armor active. You want to focus on radiation damage and puncture. The Teralyst is very susceptible to radiation damage and puncture damage. For puncture, you want to go with piercing caliber. If you don't have piercing caliber, substitute that for something else that'll give you a little more bang for your buck. Heavy caliber will also add a lot more damage to your weapon. It will take a hit on accuracy, but with the Opticore, accuracy really isn't an issue. Vital Sense for your crit damage and Point Strike for your crit chance. You want to push those crit stats as high as possible. It's very important that every shot is as high of a crit hit as you can get. For your radiation, you want to go with Hellfire and Stormbringer. You want to fire and electricity mod to activate that radiation damage, and you'll be squared away. Try to get that build as close as you can to yours. If you have to go with a different weapon, I suggest using sniper rifles or any other weapon that does very high crit with very high damage overall, and you should be good to go with that. For my Cold Star, what I choose to do is I'll switch my mods up left and right because I tend to down myself a lot with my Cold Star, but I only put 3 mods up here. I went with my Hornet Strike, I went with Deep Freeze, and I went with Pathogen Rounds for my viral damage. So I'll take hits straight to my health, bypassing my shields whenever I shoot myself with this thing. You could probably put other mods up here to make sure that the projectiles don't bounce as much and things like that. I just didn't want to go through all of that with the Cold Star. This seems to be pretty effective. Just be very cautious with downing yourself, man. People use the Angstrom, the Hiku Prime. You can use a variety of weapons for self-damage. I choose to go with this one. It's been working out pretty well for me. I do sometimes down myself, but if you copy that build, you should be good to go. Now, this is exactly what happens when you activate the Vex Armor. It's your third ability, and then I shoot myself with my Cold Star. I gave myself a little bit of overshields to see how much health damage I would actually take, and the Cold Star's bounce actually procced it to my max. My max with 235 strength is going to give me 411 Fury, and Fury is the output the damage output you get once you activate Vex Armor. This is your weapon damage, and the crits are outrageous. Most of the crits are going to be in the millions. Some of them will be you know, 500,000. That one there was over 1 million. This one here is almost 500,000. I got the next two are like 1.4 million. I mean, these crits are outrageous, and when you're trying to get those shots off on a Teralyst, you absolutely want the highest damage output possible when you're trying to get the armor split off that thing. Now, jumping into the Teralyst fight, first things first, don't go hit the Teralyst. You want to get a lure, and you want to charge up your lure as quickly as possible. You don't want the Teralyst to disappear on you mid-fight, so definitely charge your lure first before you go into battle, and you'll be good to go. Now, when you're playing as Chroma, and if you haven't done this before, what you need to do in order to damage the Teralyst or get a chance to get a shot off on him that actually takes damage to his health, you have to get rid of the shields. The only way to get rid of the shields is to use your operator. Now, I suggest if you want to play in the Plains and Teralyst hunt at night and things like that, you need to put a lot of work into your operator. You need to get those Arcane's Craft so you have a lot more health. You need to get the Arcane's Craft for armor. You need to get your personalized amps made. You need to get those amps maxed out and squared away. This is my YML Beamatic. You just need to make sure you put work into your operator, because in order to hunt, you're going to have a fierce operator. And once you get that thing nice, man, you could just run in the Plains with your operator carefree and enjoy it a lot more. So really put work into that. Now, what I did here is I activated my Vex Armor because the shields have been depleted off of the Teralyst. I shoot myself with my Cold Star, get Max Fury, and just aim at one of the 4 joints, either the kneecaps or the arms. Bam! It should one-shot it off of him if you have the high strength that I have on my build. If not, shoot it again. Just be wary of taking damage and getting knocked around and stuff, because playing as Chroma, your team is dependent upon you to get that armor ripped off of the Teralyst. So you really, really want to make sure that you're in a good vantage point to try to get those shots clear off. It gets really hectic mid-boss fight and things like that, but just stay strong and stay focused on what you came to do. Try to get those shots clear. With a sniper rifle, probably be a lot harder. Once you stripped all 4 of the armor off of him, the last shot is going to be the kill shot. You just shoot it in the face, anywhere on the body, and it should go ahead and kill the Teralyst. Now, being that you have 2 lures, you want 2 lures definitely attached to this thing to make sure you get all of the cores possible when doing these Teralyst hunts, and you'll be squared away. Well, I hope you guys found this video helpful, man. If you're new to YML Gaming, be sure to subscribe to the channel, man. Smash that like. Thanks for watching, you guys. I got a couple of more videos showing you about Trinity and the hardware builds. Be sure to check those out. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.